needs to be put straight. We shall begin with the actually misleading information, where we had a false post which was circulating on social media, claiming to be from the Directorate of Human Resource and Administration of the Uganda Police Force. It was saying that Uganda Police Force has not given anything new, and if it had been there, it would have given anything new, and if it had been there, it would have been me to give that information on behalf of the directorate. So some rotten souls chose to write what you saw, and it can easily mislead some of our innocent recruits who come from far areas. So that information is incorrect. So the original reporting schedule remains in effect, and all recruits will proceed to their designated training schools, which we mentioned earlier. That is Kabalye in Masindi, Olilim in Katakwi, and Ikafi. So that is the subsisting information. And the reporting date remains 1st August 2025. Thank you. Another is also, you recall we gave out information that was last week on Tuesday, where we recovered 2 guns from criminals in the Masaka areas, Chotera and Masaka. We recovered. Now, again, information started circulating about the origins of the guns, and I would like to put the record straight, because whereas it is true that the guns belong to police, but again, some negative souls we are trying to add on additional and malicious information. But what I would like to clarify is that those guns belong to Uganda Police Force. They were lost. Our officers lost those guns. Those officers were charged, and as we speak, they are remanded. We took criminal action against the officers, and the officers are currently facing it with the law in respect to criminal negligence. So we do not deny the guns, and the guns have always, it can happen, guns can get lost. Although we pay interest in the circumstances under which a gun has been lost, if we find that your defense is not very convincing, then we take you on. And precisely that's what Uganda Police Force did. We took on the officers. So I would like to make that clarification also. This one is a reminder. You recall I was here and I told you that the prize of 50 million was put for whoever locates or helps in leading us to the arrest of the murderer of the 2 couples of Entebbe. Them, for being very vigilant citizens, they did what we always tell people to do: not to take the law into their hands. They pursued them, police joined, and the pursuit managed to have it further. We managed to get 3 pangas and a motorcycle bearing registration number UGG 5971, plus 3 smartphones. Now this other one, whom there is one called Subuga, that in Subuga tried to confront police and wanted to hug one of the officers, and they incapacitated him. in the waist and the leg, shot, the bullet shot, and they put him in order. So we finally took him to hospital where he is getting treatment, and even more additional information shall be harvested from them to ensure that we crack down their racket. But point of emphasis is that pursuing a criminal by wananchi is very, very necessary, and it is not condemnable. What we condemn is for you to convert yourself into an instant court and execute them. Or actually, not even a court. You turn yourselves into hangmen. Now that one is not okay. So you, from this story, you can see that we managed to harvest information, we managed to harvest more suspects, we managed to harvest more exhibits. So my clarion point here is that please, let's always cooperate, and we would like to thank our border riders in that stage for having done the needful. The photos, we shall share them on our platforms and also share them in our fourth estate. We also had an incident of a child who was last week on Monday abducted from Musaja Rungwa Road in Mengo by kidnappers. Our intelligence officers managed to seriously track down these kidnappers who entered into DRC. So with the assistance of UPDF, the kidnappers, actually a kidnapper was apprehended. And this one is called Amani Jaste, a 17-year-old from Mujore village, Bunagana parish, Jomba sub-county, Churu district in the Democratic Republic of Congo. He had put a ransom, he was demanding a ransom of 30 million shillings. And in an attempt to get it, he ended up in our hands. So that is another story I felt I should put before you. We shall also share the photos which we have. Now, the other story I wanted to share with you is about the recent fire incidents. We had a number of them in the course of the week. On 27th July, at around 1300 hours, we were called to Chiria Tete East Cell, that is the southern ward of Hoima East Division in Hoima City. The fire brigade managed to control a blaze at a commercial building. While some rooms were saved, there was a lot of substantive damage done to some of them in that building. Previously on Friday, again we had another fire outbreak that is at the Hima Cement Factory located in Karunjivat Cell, that is the Hima Town Council, Sese District. Workers noticed flames coming from a conveyor belt. They informed the factory administrators. The factory administrators reported the incident to police. Police responded and they extinguished the fire. That was not all. On Tuesday, again last week, at around 2000 hours, security guards, all this information we shared, security guards at the Chiboko Enterprises, at their warehouse in Kasam, Chisubu Parish, Makindye Division, that is Kampala City, they spotted a fire which was coming from a rooftop, notified the police. Police responded and they put out the fire, but after very extensive damage had been done. Now, in lieu of all those fire incidents, and even those we have seen previously or registered previously, there are certain common and persistent observations we have made that even after the talking, the victims are hell-bent on their status quo. They are unmoved by the threat of fire. As police, of course, we shall continue to speak. Many businesses, these are some of the observations, because I had a very deep conversation with our senior chiefs from the fire department on some of the observations they make. And they say that many businesses lack adequate fire safety measures, increasing the vulnerability to fire, especially those dealing with highly flammable material. When you are dealing in highly flammable material, at times you will find that the fire takes a very serious, the fire catches at a very serious rate, at a very high rate. You need a number of equipment commensurate with the nature of threat that the materials you deal in bring. So that is one of the challenges. They also observed that the fire hydrants are either absent or ineffective within most business premises, limiting firefighting efforts due to the need of frequent refilling with distant sources. Now, some areas, for example, you find somebody is running a factory, a huge factory with probably around 2 warehouses, and he has a very small domestic fire extinguishers. So you find that his equipment is purely for posturing, but in actual essence, the factory does not have what you would comfortably call fire fighting equipment. But he postures or she postures with some small fire extinguishers. But I can tell you, there is not one industry, factory, household that has faced this fire and have not confessed to registering severe damage. The damage is severe, people are bleeding when this fire is finally out. But what is failing? Resistance against reality. So this is a very strong point. The other is that some do not have fire action plans, signage, hose reels. I think this is something I've almost mentioned. So they are relying on chance. Even these fire action plans, where do people run in case of a fire? I've not talked about the schools. You can inspect some of these schools. Our school administrators, I think you need to be, sometimes you find a school, the dormitory has very terrible burglar proofing. In the event of a fire, children can hardly get out. And what happens? They wait when these fires occur, and then we start charging them with the offenses related to negligence, instead of taking some of these calls very seriously before these occurrences. We also found, our office has found that fire safety training, awareness campaigns, and emergency evacuation drills for workers are generally not conducted. That our officers have sometimes tried to conduct with some, but some entities are a bit reluctant, because we are supposed to conduct these things with you to train you. In my interaction with our senior fire officers is that, again, there is posturing. You find there is a fire extinguisher, but the fellows don't know how to use it. And the most comfortable thing they find is to call police. So they call police, but do not use the equipment. And they said it is worse when it comes to the hose. These other more advanced equipment, the fire hydrants, the fire hoses you find in the factories. Those ones, you will find that in the entire factory, almost around one person knows how to use it. And at times you find they have it there, but it has no pressure. So that one is also another issue. Now this one, I raised it even before, that many fire scenes, particularly warehouses, are difficult to access due to poor layout, lack of walkways, and overcrowded storage, complicating evacuation, endangering both firefighters and workers. We have had incidents where, in an attempt to fight those fires, our workers have been hurt. Then we have also had incidents where we can't access you people. You find, because these firefighting equipment take certain size, they are not saloon cars. These are water carrying equipment that are huge, that need access points or access routes that are reasonably of a given size. Now you have eaten up all these roads. Even secondly, in your business investments, why would you invest in an area which does not have an access route? So some of these are calls, and we really feel that you really need to take on these issues we are raising. Our teams, you can always reach out to our teams. They come and sensitize your workers. Maybe what I will also add, which is very, very important, is our telephone contact. I'm going to give it once again. The public should always call this number, particularly for fire emergencies or fire outbreak emergencies. It is toll free. It is 080 01 21 222. I repeat, 080 01 21 222. I guess the number is clear. Please try as much as possible to save property and also save lives. Maybe let me be specific on this. Like for example, in the incident of Chiboko Enterprises, they had fire extinguishers. They even had a fire hose, but the fire hose had low power, low water pressure, so limiting its effect and capacity to fight the fire. So we'd like to call upon everybody to ensure that we fight these fires. We adhere to some of this information we give, so that we try to fight fire whenever it comes. Thank you very much. Kanziremu mbidemu mu Luganda, nja kusooka okulamusa mwena munywani gyaffe ab'amawulire abali wano aba Fourth Estate. Sijja kulekeranga kubasiima because it is through you the information yaffe etuuka gyeraga mu kugezaako okulwanyisa obumenyi bw'amateeka, okumanyisa eggwanga, okugezaako okulaba nti eno wano bwembeera wano mbanga akola community policy, naye nga ngezaako okutuuka abantu bangi on behalf of the Uganda Police Force. Nja kusooka ne information yaffe egezaako okutereeza ebyo ab'emyoyo emibi bagezaako okwenoona erinnya lya poliisi, okuwabya abantu. Simanyi ekiba kibali ku mutwe. Kati nga waliwo bakagwensonyi abagenze ne bawandiika amawulire nti ekitongole kya Directorate ya poliisi egambye mwena betwali ku rutinga abaana 1,000 ba police constable, mwena mugende mu reportinge ekabali e Masindi. Tetulina kyetwagambyeko ekifaanana bwe kityo. Ebintu byonna poliisi bwe beeyagala kwogera ebiyisa mu nze omwogezi wa poliisi, sinaba kwogerako nga kino. So njagala ntereeze record ye. Najja wano nempa guidance olunaku lwe bajja okureportinga abaana abayita mu recruitment yaffe eyaba professional police constables. Neŋŋamba nti bajja kureportinga nga 1st August era eri kumpi. Nemala neŋŋamba nti tulina training schools 3. Tulina Olirim eri Katakwi, tulina Ikafe, ne tubeera ne Kabali. Era buli mwana bamulaga wawajja okureportinga. Era reporting date ekyali yemu n'ebifo bikyali byebimu. So kyetwagala okutereezaamu, era tuba tusaba omuntu yenna abafunye information eno ayambe abaana abo abamu bava wala, bava mu bifo ebitatuukamu bulungi mawulire, so bw'omuwabya oba omutawaanyiza nnyo. So kyetwagala tutangaaze. Then okutangaaza okulala kwetwagala okukola kukwata ku Lwokubiri. Mujjukira twakola ekikwekweto ne tufuna emmundu zaffe 2 ne tukwatayo n'abantu, era n'abamu ne tubateekako mu luzungu kye twabayisaamuko ku masasi. Naye ekyaleetawo egundi ye emmundu ze twafuna. Emmundu ezo abantu ne batandika poliisi ate zino emmundu biki? So kyetwagala okuclarifyinga, ezo emmundu za poliisi, naye ezo emmundu baziba ku bapoliisi, ababadde baziba ku bapoliisi. Yes, weewaawo ripooti gye twafuna nti zaali nzibe, naye era twagenda maaso abapoliisi ababiri abo ne tubakyaginga, kubanga twayinamu okunoonyereza kwaffe nga tuwulira nti wadde zaababulako naye mwalimu obulajjagavu, era ne tubagulako criminal negligence, tubatwala mu kooti, era we twogerera nga bali ku remand. So ekyo kyetwabadde twagala okutangaaza, kubanga oli ayinza okulooza nti maybe zaffe nezendinga ku mugundi nedda. So kyekyo kyenjagala okutangaaza mu kino. Ekyokusatu okubajjukiza. Mujjukira twateekawo ssente $50 million anaakwata oba atulidinga mu kukwata omutemu eyatemula kapo eya Entebbe, omwami n'omukyala Mutaga. Ssente zikyaliwo, tulinze maybe just ekyokwongerako nti tewabaayo omuntu yenna atya nti tujja kumulabisa, tujja kumuteeka mu lujjudde oba nga afunanga akasente ke. Buli kimu twagala tukikolera mu kyama, so that totya nti akasente ako kayinza okuleetera obulabe, either because obulabe butera kuba bwa mirundi ebiri, either buva ku mutemu oyo n'abantu be oba kye tuyita ba associates oba ababbi ababa bategedde nti wafunye ku ssente. So ebyo byonna tujagezaako nnyo okulaba nti tukukuuma. Then so ekyo kye mbadde njagala era nziremu mbajjukize, ntekemu amaanyi omuntu oyo tumwetaaga. Twabawa n'ennamba tugikozese tubalinze. Issue endala eno eri operational eyabaddewo Mukono Joe saawa 9 ez'ekiro. Twakola operation etukwatayo ababbi. Ababbi bano baali bayise mu bitundu bingi nga babba ebya Goma division. Bano balina pangas, ate ekirungi ne panga zaabwe twabakwase nazo. Bayita Nabweru, waliwo Nabweru eya Mukono, Namanve, bayita mu bifo bingi, Kyaliwajjala, Sonde. Eno information omukubu munyine yali agituwa. So twasobola okumukwata, bamuyita Nsubuga. Zo yagezaako okulwana ng'ayagala kutema omusirikale omu, ne bamuyisaamuko akasasi mu kiwato, then n'akafa. Then n'atuyamba n'okukwatayo abalala babiri, Asimwe Stephen ne Musinga Musa. Era kati wetwogerera twali kavarinzeyo piki UGG number plate UGG 597Y ne smartphones 3 ze babadde balina. Then Nsubuga ye ne tumutwala okufuna okujjanjabya mu ddwaliro. Naye nga wano ekisooka twagala kusiima ababodaboda babayambye kubanga be batandise mu kugoba, then ne bayita poliisi yaffe eya Coca-Cola okugoba ne kugenda maaso. Tebasse ko kye bakoze ne batuyamba mu kukwata era abasibe ne tufuna chance tukola ki ne tuba nga tubayina. Kati ekyo kyetera okusaba abantu ba bulijjo nti kifo ky'okukwata omubbi ate noweefuula kooti, oluusi si na kooti naye n'otandinga into a hangman omunakalaba. Kifo ky'okuteeka omubbi kalaba mutuwe, ffe tukole ki? Kubanga tuba tulina information endala. Kati omubbi omu yatuliidize mu kukwata ebintu ebirala bingi. So twagala tubasiime olw'okukola omulimu gwabwe nga bannansi naye ne bagukola bulungi. Ebifaananyi nabyo tubiina, tujja kuba tulibalaga wano. Then waliyo ne story endala gye njagala okusharinga nammwe eya omwana we baawamba omusajja Lumbwa Road e Mengo. Bano bakidnappers bamutwala paka DRC Congo, naye mu kuyambibwako ekitongole ekikuumaddembe kya UPDF kyayambako bambega baffe mu tracking eyo ne basobola okukwatayo omusajja omu gwe bayita Amaani Justin ow'emyaka 17 ng'ava ku kyalo kya Mujole Village, Bunagana Parish, Jomba Sub-County, Ruchuru District mu Democratic Republic of Congo. Era oyo ng'ali mu mikono gyaffe. Ebifaananyi tujja kuba tubalaga wano. Then ekisembayo okumutuukako oyinza obutakwata operational details, naye kyemanyi is that incident eyo bwe yabaawo twatandika tracking ne tulocating ono omusibe ono katikalengere suspect gyali, era yali asaba million 30 maybe kyebadde neyadde okagamba, naye mu kwagala okuzifuna okwo ate tumukwata tukozesa obuyambi bw'okuva mu baganda baffe aba UPDF. abali mu deployments ezo. Ekisembayo kiri ku miriro enjega y'emiriro gye tuzze tulaba mu wiiki eno ewedde. Nga 27 waliwo omuliro mu kitundu kya Kiryatete East Cell mu Hoima East Division mu Hoima City. Wano wo omuliro gwakwata ekizimbe ekiri commercial egwokyako ekitundu ekimu, naye fire brigade yaffe yasobola okujja negezaako okutaasa kyali esobodde okutaasa, naye era still gwakosa nnyo ekizimbe ekyo n'ebintu by'abantu. Then ku Friday just Jojo wano era omuliro nayo gwakwata Hima Cement Factory mu kitundu kya Karungi Bati Cell mu Hima Town Council. Era nawo gwayokya conveyor belt ya factory, naye factory yasobola okukubira police netujja era netugulwanyisa. Ku Lwokubiri era waliwo omuliro twasharinga namu ogwayokya Kiboko Enterprises mu Kasanvu Zone Kisugu Parish e Makindye Division. Era abasirikale abakuumi balaba omuliro zaali ssaawa nga 2 ez'ekiro ne bategeeza poliisi nejja netulwana n'omuliro netusobola okugezaako okutaasa kye twasobola, naye nga warehouse yo yafuna damage y'amaanyi. Kati bwe nabadde njogeramu ne abazima mooto baffe abapoliisi ne baŋŋamba nti waliwo ekintu kyolina okusharinga n'abantu so that bagezeeko okugyamu kye bajjamu bawulirize. Ekisooka, bizinesi ezisinga tezirina birwanisa muliro, ate baba baproducinga ebintu ebikwata omuliro. Waliwo bosanga baproducinga chemicals nga zikwata mangu omuliro, obanga bwebanga zikwasa omuliro extent ya damage eba nnene. Osanga n'omuntu ng'alina factory y'akaveera, so bakola ebintu bingi mu makolero, naye ekizibu tebateekinga time kwevaluatinga risk nga wano omuliro nga gwakwase kyekibaawo tuddukirawa, ani akozesa ebigenda okulwanisa omuliro guno, kubanga basanze nga waliwo abayina ebyuma naye ng'osanga omuntu ku factory eyina warehouses 2, omuntu alina bu fire extinguishers ng'obwo 2 obutono bwe buti. Waliwo osanga ng'ayina hose enefulumya amazzi nga mangiko, naye nga hose eyo teyina pressure naye nga agiina. Waliwo ayina ebyo byonna bye twogedde nga biri bulungi naye nga mu factory teri amanyi kubikozesa. So ebyo byonna bikulaga ki? Nti nga wazze threat y'omuliro gubatuusa wabi nnyo, ate nga obujulizi obuliwo, buli muntu eyafunye ku damage y'omuliro akubuulira nti losi gy'akoze nene. Then abalala wanga tutera okuwaayo ku advice trainings, abalala tebafaayo, tebajumbira trainings zino. Twagala at least abasirikale baffe mubatuukirire baba training mu skills zino ez'okulwanisa omuliro. Juzi nayogera ku masomero wano, ogenda n'osanga essomero nga lirina burglary proof. Mumanyi bulungi ekizibu ekyagwayo egudde. That history is still very, very vivid in our heads. Omuliro guyinza okukwata ekisulo nosanga ng'abaana balemye okufuluma. So twagala abantu bonna abali mu risk bracket eno bajumbire advice yaffe. Maybe just ekirala kyenjagala kwe kuwa ennamba eno nziremu njikwe nti kuba ennamba 080 012 122 2 sendyayo mubaka njisomenga 0800 121 222. Enamba eyo bw'ogikuba fire brigade yegireceive. Nzize njogera ku issue ya communication nti obuzibu bwe tutera okuba nabwo abantu ba bulijjo kifo ky'okubeera n'ennamba za poliisi okusinga babeera n'ennamba z'abakwano baabwe abali mu poliisi. So asooka n'akubira omupoliisi mukwano gwe, omuliro guli Kisugu, omupoliisi bamutransfaringa ali Kabong. Owa Kabong alina okusooka n'anoonya munne who is in Kisugu, oba ye omupoliisi ate yajja okukubira abapoliisi abali ku abakwata emergency lines. So nosanga nti mulimu zigzaga mungi, ate ng'omuliro ba experts b'omuliro bakugamba emiriro egimu mu dakiika 5 tuba gumaze okukola damage emala kulaba nti oba tolina kyogenda kutaasaamu. So twagala okubakubiriza mugezeeko nnyo okulaba nti mukwatagana bulungi ne poliisi naye ate muwuliriza n'ebintu bye tuba tubagambye. Ekisembayo bwe bujulizi buno kati nga Kigogo Enterprises baali balina firehose naye nga pressure wansi. So mujumbire advice zetubawa tusobole okulwanisa omuliro guno, tutaase obulamu, tutaase n'ebintu ebirala byonna ebisobola okujjanga damage eva mu muliro. Mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala. BBS.
Waliwo akatambula ku mutimbagano aka omusomesa omu alina ettendekero lyakuyo erisomesa abasawo yakkakkanye ku musajja baddaze okulaba omwana n'amukuba enyo ne bamusiza simanyi oba mwakiregeddeko nga poliisi. N'ensonga endala afande yawukana kukubira waliwo abazadde battibwako abaana abawala nga bato nabaddeko mu bifo ebisanyukirwamu Uganda n'abakozesa ebikolwa ebikyamu okwetunda ebirala bifo ebisanyukirwamu ebimaaso simanyi oba mulina bemulondoola.
Maybe let me take the questions. Yes. Yes, sir.
President wa Uganda Federal Alliance yabuzibawo ng'emakoze mwezi 17 kuwana kusijja ali so famire yegamba okuba olwo tebadda bagamba beeyokwerinda mu abamulina so twagala kumanya poliisi mulimu abamulina era mumuvunaana musango ki mulumanga mweta abamulina.
Yes, sir.
In relation to missing police guns, when were they stolen from post officer and where was the attachment of those?
I think that's all. We can proceed. The issues, let me begin with the issues like this. We shall begin with that video which went viral. Yes, I also saw that video. I have asked our officers to furnish us with I saw that video. Somebody is seen caning another. It is alleged the one caning is a school administrator, and the victim is either a visitor, something of that kind. I have not yet got feedback on the police action from the police unit which is supposed to take action. But this is what I can say. One, corporal punishment in Uganda is illegal, and it has been illegal for quite a long time. This matter has been in the public domain that corporal punishment is illegal. So that suspect, if he has not yet been arrested, at least let him know he will be arrested, because there is a prima facie case against him. Because what he is seen to be doing cannot pass the test of legal sanctity. It is not lawful at all. So it is not if he will be arrested, but he should be arrested, and he will be arrested. Because I also saw it. The only thing I can't give you are the facts as to his arrest or not, because I don't have them. The issue of which has been raised by my brother, that a number of juveniles, female juveniles, are brought to happening places in Kampala, and then they are made to do some dirty dances in bars, and at times also to facilitate brothels. That's how I interpreted it, because the question was in Uganda. Now, that one all demands our officers to carry out operations. So, my brother, I will treat your information. I will treat your question as information, and with your permission, allow me share it with our police officers. This demands serious action, because it's unlawful, especially when you are using juveniles. Because the moment you touch on a juvenile, you are invading space of a minor, and there we come out very, very fast and take you on. Of course, prostitution has been a very cagey issue. I don't want to go into it. But let me talk about the issue of the minors. That one, I'm going to take the information to our officers to ensure that it is addressed. My brother also talked about the issue of Luja, Mr. Luja of the Uganda Federal Alliance, who was coming from South Africa. And it is alleged that he was arrested at the airport, and the journalist says that it could be police because the relatives say so. I would like to say that I've made consultations on this matter. The Uganda Police Force does not have this suspect in our custody. Yes. Another colleague asked about the missing police guns, which I had talked about, and the question of when they got lost. That information is in our report. I didn't come with it, but we can give you that information for purposes of making the story a little more accurate. The date of when that incident occurred is there. I will share it with you. Maybe mu Luganda, akatambi, omwami omu ambuziza katambi akayita ku mitimbagano akalaga omwami omu nga akuba kibooko munne ali ku ttaka. Oyo bambuziza nti poliisi mukozeewo oti. Information eyo nange bwe nagiraba twagisindika mu bapoliisi baffe banoonyereze wa wennyini wekiri, so that action basobole okugiteekinga. Kyejagala okutangaaza is that okukuba omuntu yenna kibooko mu luzungu gye tuyita corporal punishment teri mu mateeka. Corporal punishment oteeka omuntu wansi ku ttaka n'otandika okumukuba embooko. Abasinga edda abaali bakubiddwako ekibooko ezo baazikubanga kabina, era ndowooza noono kye yabadde akola. Ziri nnyo common mu masomero. Oluusi tutera n'oziraba nga bazikuba ababbi. Oluusi waliwo olumu bwe nazirabanga nga bazikuba n'aba boda abatanaaba. Yes. Now, all this is illegal. Bwe bamala ne bakukwata, of course, society yaffe erina ekizibu kimu. Conscious levels zaffe ziri wansi. Omusajja bamuteeka wansi bamukuba embooko ne yeesiimuula n'agenda. Abaana kwayatire mu masomero embooko zikyagenda mu maaso. Actually kankozese chance eno nkyogere. Abasomesa mukyakuba abaana. Naye eggwanga ennaku zino lirina buli muntu yafuuka munnamawulire. Akatambi aka omusomesa kayinza okutwala mu kooti. Kamu bwe kati omuntu omu ajja kukwata vidiyo akutuwe ate otandike saategeera kiki. Corporal punishment teri mu mateeka, baagiwera, so tetwagala kulaba muntu yenna akozesa corporal punishment ng'ekibonerezo. So ono eyabadde akikola yeetegeke okugasimbagana ne kooti. Era bwe bamukwatirako, era nsuubira bajja kumukwata. Naye bwe banaamukwata bajja mukoona mu kooti. Yes. Issue endala waliwo gye bandaze wano ebimansulu. Nti waliwo omuze ogugenda mu maaso ogw'okukwata abaana abato abataneetuuka ne babateeka mu bimansulu. Bayolesa n'obwereere. Njagala okutangaaza nti poliisi terina mwami kya. Kyokka kye njagala okutangaaza mukimanye. Abajanalisi bangi abakakimbuuzaako era nenkibawa ne ŋŋamba lujja tetumuyina. Kubanga nagenda ne mbuuza abasirikale baffe aba aviation police, bagamba nti omuntu bw'ati ne bw'ati mwamukutte nga kituufu nti nedda. Era n'akaduukulu kaffe tetulinamu muntu yenna we bayita Mr. Lujja. Era tetunaba kugulako musango gwonna ku muntu yenna ow'ekika ekyo ng'ava ku nnyonyi eva South Africa. So ndowooza nkitangazza. Yes.
Tulina poliisi taking interest singa
tutekinga interest omuntu wajja n'atuloope. Naye omuntu bw'ayimirira eri mu social media n'akola ki? Tulina response mechanisms zaffe ze tukozesa. Bw'oyimirira eri mu social media n'otuwaayiriza tukwanula. Bw'oba oyagala social media yeeba naffe tujja kusangayo tukwanuka. Bw'ojja ku police no reporting omusango bwe investigating omusango ogwo case of a missing person. So bwebanga baagala ku reporting omusango gwa missing person, ebitabo byaffe ebya police bigule, police stations zaffe zigule, abasirikale baffe bakola ssaawa 2. Issue ya missing guns eyo abadde abuuza